Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers is coming back with Nosferatu, a remake of the silent film classic. Now, I have had wild opinions about Robert Eggers. I did not care for The Witch. I thought it was a beautifully shot movie, wonderfully acted, but the story was Same with The Lighthouse. Amazingly acted, beautifully shot, crap story. It didn't really work for me. So I said I was going to give him one more chance with The Northman, and I thought it was fantastic. Beautifully shot, wonderfully acted, and very well written. So I feel like I'm back in on this. Now, as far as Nosferatu, guys don't know this movie was basically released illegally. They couldn't get the rights to make Dracula, so they made their own movie, which was basically just a rip-off of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and they basically got like a cease and desist. And they said, okay, we're just gonna can the film, and then it leaked. And that's how it became like the cinema horror classic that we know it as today. I think this is a perfect director to kind of go back at this. And I think Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the new version of It, playing the title character is a great pick. So I am quite intrigued to see what he does with this, because it's one of those things where I think that Robert Eggers is going to get some wild, varied opinions no matter what he does. But the fact that this guy has no interest in making, I think what you would call modern films. He has no interest in making superhero movies or glossy formulaic studio movies. He wants to do his own thing. And thankfully there are still studios that are giving directors like this a chance. Look, regardless of how I feel about the guy's movies, I've liked 1 out of 3 so far. I think that Hollywood needs more people like this that are willing to do something different. So I will always encourage that, young filmmakers that want to do something different, not just there for the paycheck. They really believe in what they're doing. Yeah, I'm there for it for sure. I want to close this, guys, by talking about this show on Apple TV that people have been railing on me for a long time to watch. I love Ronald D. Moore. Now, if you don't know who that is, Ronald D. Moore, he was a writer on Star Trek Next Generation. He was the lead writer on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was the showrunner and writer for Battlestar Galactica, the modern version. He is I think he's just a writer. I don't think he's doing the show running thing all the way on Outlander. So the guy, he's a great writer. I think the guy is an incredible character writer. He writes his characters so incredibly well. So when For All Mankind came out, I thought for sure, this would definitely be something I'd be into, but I didn't have Apple TV at the time. So a friend of mine was really excited for me to watch, because he knows I love Battlestar Galactica. He says this is his best thing since Battlestar Galactica. I know you will love it. So he's like, here's my Apple password. Watch this episode. And I watched the first episode and I liked it, but I was like, I don't know. But people would not leave me alone about it. Everyone, Mike, this is the most amazing show. You were going to just keep trying. You're going to love it. Now, look, I love the premise of this show, that Russia beat the United States to the moon in 1969. But the space race didn't end. The space race just escalated after that. And they kept one-upping each other. And I'm in season 2 now, guys, and it's into the 1980s. And this is the most emotionally gripping show I have watched in years, and it just has Ronald D. Moore's DNA all over it. It is incredible. I might talk about it at length more over on Mike's Media Reviews, because there's just so much to say. It is a stunning show, but oh my God, guys, the character work on the show is so good. And I'm going to say something that some people are going to feel uncomfortable with this, but if you'll listen to what I'm saying here, I think you'll understand what I mean and don't make assumptions. I was apprehensive about the show because in the trailer, I'm not going to lie, it kind of looked like a girl boss show. And look, I have no problem with girl boss shows. I think there's a place for those. They're great. I'm a 44-year-old male. I'm not really excited to watch girl boss shows, okay? It's not, guys. It is so wonderfully written, and I'll be honest with you, I love every single lady character on the show. It's so well written. It's so well earned. There are no Mary Sues. There are no toxic males or none of that stuff, guys. This doesn't have any of that agenda stuff you might have some stuff that you kind of might be like, I bet they're kind of saying that, but this is dealing with alternate history. So there's going to be things that you're noticing and things that you're not. It presents amazing ideas, but what I like is the show has an incredibly positive message. It doesn't say, this is why America is terrible. It doesn't say, this is what we should have done differently. It has, look, bad things happen, and you know what? America puts on their boots, they pull up their shorts, and they get back to work, and they keep working. And I think it's just a positive show. It really is. Bad things happen. Terrible things happen. It is emotionally destroying. I found my allergies flaring up several times, especially with the stuff where it will make you think about, man, maybe I haven't been the best parent. It's very good at doing that. It's just so incredibly well written, guys. And if you are like me and you love characters, man, there is no better show on TV right now that really is a character study on about 8 main cast members. It's so good, you guys. I was completely blown away, and I am so thankful you guys kept just hammering me to watch this show, because you were right. It is easily the best thing he has done since Battlestar Galactica, and I am loving it. I blew through season 1 basically in a couple days. I'm about halfway through season 2 right now. I imagine I'll be caught up to real time here within a week or two, because I can't stop thinking about the show. It's in my head now, and I just, even though I know with Ronald D. Moore, don't get too attached to these characters, you know how Ronald does, I still am. I have found myself attached to every single character, and I'm like, don't take them away from me already. So the man's amazing. He's an amazing writer. That whole team over there is amazing. I love alternate history. It makes me think of like The Man in the High Castle, which I really, really did like as well. This is better than that, I think. It's really good, especially if you really are a fan of outer space and NASA. Obviously, I live in Houston, guys. Big fan of NASA and space. I'm a space nerd. I don't talk about it a ton on the channel. But yeah, this stuff is just so good. And I love me some American history. So I love all these things that it's doing. And it's just neat to see the differences in that timeline and our timeline. So very much if like you're a Dark Tower fan, you kind of look at this as like, hey, this is another path of the beam, a couple of changes, and this is how the world would have changed. It's a really, really neat idea. And yeah, the mind of Ronald D. Moore is just amazing, you guys. Guy continues to just crush it on everything he does. I can't wait to continue, and I can't wait to see what he does next.